what kind of questions did we see on 2.5? What can I help you with on it? Yeah. Okay, so number one, the least square regression line is just the line of best fit. Think very little. Okay. So that's the line of best fit. That's where you would type in stat, and it's number 8, and then it would give you the line of best fit, which I think is y equals a plus bx is the one you want to go with. And again, that's a hat. So that would be the line of least squares regression line. So it's the line of best fit. So once you plug your data in, you have your data plugged in? Okay, stat?
Yeah, and then 8. So line regression.
Uh-huh.
And then calculate.
Uh-huh. Did it work? Is what? Speak.
It's supposed to show me a line?
Well, did it get? It gave you the equation, yeah.
But what about the line? Like,
Okay. Okay, right. Ready?
Huh?
Okay, ready? Okay. First thing I want you to do is hit zoom stat.
Okay.
Top button and then stat. You still there?
And then to 9.
Okay, now hit y equals. Okay. Vars, VARS, it's above the 7. Go over to, or is there something called statistics? Number 5? 5. Go to statistics.
Yeah.
Arrow over to regression equation.
Wait, press 5. So
5.
Yeah.
And then move your arrow to right.
So to EQ?
Yes.
Okay.
And then it'll be number 1.
And then
Enter.
enter.
Graph. Did it work?
Yeah.
Wow. Can't believe I remember all that off the top of my head. What else did you see on the Homer work? Homer. Yeah. Oh! That one. Sorry, that's Homer Simpson. What else do you see? Because we do have a quizaroo tomorrow. Yeah. 10, you got it. Quiz tomorrow. Is the y-intercept an extrapolation of the data in this question? Explain. Okay, so if you're looking at the graph above, it looks like it goes 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, so it's adjusted the window. So we cannot see 0, 0 or 0 whatever. So it would be an extrapolation because it would fall outside the data set, because our data right now kind of does this, where like this is the first point here. 0 would be way far to the left here, so that would be, there's no data out there. Okay, so that means it's an extrapolation. It'd be an interpolation if it fell somewhere in this region. Okay. What else do you see, friends? Good in the hood? All right. If you need a note card, raise your hand, because you can use this on the quiz. And let's figure out things we can write on it. Here, just hand them around. So you can zigzag it. See if you guys can do better than the medical class. You can figure out how to pass it back and forth. Back and then front, and then go all the way back, then come all the way forward, all the way back, all the way forward, all the way back. All right, so let's take a look. Can I be right back? Might want to talk to Chucky. She's doing really bad. She had a great disruptive 12%. Coach is mad at you. Sorry. You're going to be running. All right. So this is just a little review. I won't give it a homework assignment tonight. I know that upsets most of you, but deal with it. I know. What kind of things could we test that would have a negative association? Okay, so that means that our R value is a negative number. That means if we had graphed it, it would decrease. So what kind of things might impact something to be less and less as you go to the right? What do you think? Do what? How much money is in my bank account? So this could be the days. These could be days, and this could be money in bank account. Yeah, so as the days go on, you're using your debit card, so that's definitely. What about price of a car? Number sold. So let's say you want to go buy yourself a Tesla. But Tesla decides we're no longer going to have a $100,000 car. Now our Teslas are going to go for $400,000. Do you think the amount of Teslas on the road would probably be decreasing a little bit? I mean, I know people like Teslas. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to rip on the company. Though I have them with their solar and their customer service sucks. But, hey, that's a different story. So if you adjust the price, if you increase the price on something, then you might sell a lesser amount of that. So I guess we would actually have to change this. So price of car, as the price goes up, the number of cars sold would go down. So the lower price car, you sell more of them. The higher price car, you sell less of them. Just you price people out. Yeah, well that's kind of the showcase. What value of R is the worst for data? 0, yes. Okay, so remember the R value goes between -1 and +1. The closer you are to -1, the better. The closer you are to +1, the better. 0 is the worst. Okay? If you had an R value close to -1, what is one thing you can guarantee me about your graph or your linear equation? It's negative. So my slope is negative. Slope here would be positive. Okay? Just because you have a negative correlation doesn't mean, oh, this is like bad information. If you have negative correlation just means that I have a slope that would be negative. Let's see. What's the Hawthorne effect? Yeah.
Something behaves when it doesn't anything much.
Yeah. So let's take CP Algebra 1, for example. Still with me on this adventure? So let's say I gave CP Algebra 1 a quiz. And I stood up here just kind of walking up and down, make sure kids are on task. Are those kids maybe going to act a little differently if I'm gone for 20 minutes during their quiz? Or are they going to be little angels the entire time? I'd say some are little angels, but you got some people that are like, yeah, I'm going to look at my neighbor. It's like, that neighbor has ditched for 36 days straight, and you're copying off them? Yeah, they know what they're doing, I'm sure. So the Hawthorne effect is if you're collecting data and you know you're being watched, you're going to behave differently than other things. We will be using the graphing calculators tomorrow. Again, I can help you. I'm pretty sure Most of you would know how to just at least plug in data. I know that some places where things are goofed up is, where did my L1 go? L1, when you go all the way to the top and you hit the super bad key, delete, makes L1 go bye-bye. I can help you bring it back, so don't panic if it goes away. It's not erased forever. Correlation will be the R value. Okay, I will show you how to do that on the calculator. I am not going to ask you about R squared. Okay. And then we talked about it a little bit yesterday. Rewrite a causation to make it a correlation statement. So sometimes you might have a correlation statement you might want to make as a causation. Causation might be something that you're making it be to catch the eye of the reader. But correlation is just you're trying to show some sort of effect. So you might have to rewrite something. So let's see. Let's make one. Eating McDonald's increased obesity. Okay, so that's kind of a causation. That says that McDonald's has made people fat. Okay, so how could you make this more of a correlation? You could change it to say, a study shows eating McD's might increase obesity. Basically, they say the same thing. What is the purplish color? Why is it different? Well, I have words like might, because I don't want McDonald's to sue me. How dare you say that we're making people fat? Well, hey, you ever see that show? I think it was on Netflix, Super Size Me, where a guy, he would order a meal at McDonald's for all 3 meals of the day, and if they said, would you like to supersize that, he would go ahead and supersize it. And then he actually went to the doctor and showed that his weight had increased, his cholesterol increased, his heart went bad. So who watched it? Just raise your hand if you saw it. Is it a good study or not?
Yeah.
What? Only one guy. So that might have been the one person out of 7 billion people on the planet that eating McDonald's 3 times a day, supersizing it when asked, made him heavyset. Now, I can't say that that would be a really good study, because if it theoretically was really bad, I mean, let's face it. Why does McDonald's taste good? Because we like it. It's fast food, right? I know some people can't stand it. Okay, now that I'm gluten-free, I don't really eat there. McGriddles, yeah, baby. Egg McMuffin used to be my favorite food ever. But, well, that just is what it is. What up, Scotty?
Oh, Scott.
So, I wonder. Look at this real clear definition. So, eating McDonald's increased obesity. That's kind of the headline they would maybe throw at you. How to keep it more of a correlation. A study shows eating McDonald's might increase obesity. Okay, and I'm not claiming to be a perfect grammatical person. So let's do this. Come on. Okay, who broke? Who broke my pen?
Sir, it was in your 8th period, so what did you do between 8th period yesterday and the 1st period today?
Well, just because I submerged this in water last night shouldn't mean anything. All right. So what would it mean if I had you estimate an R value that the line of best fit would kind of be rising to the right, but the dots formed kind of a linear correlation, but you had some dots that were way far away. Does the dots way far away start affecting the R value? And if so, if it's a positive slope, so the R value is closer to 1, if we have some obscure things that are away from it, the R value would start rolling back towards what number? 0. Okay, that's the same idea for a negative correlation. Okay, I'm a little disturbed. I'm still counting up, so I'm still recording. Yeah, it's still working. What's going on? So, let's see. What time are we out of here? 9:03. All right. So, I will allow you. God, what is going on with this thing? There we go. Okay. It wanted this. It still wants it. Oh my gosh. Who broke this thing? Stirred it. Oh, ooh. Definitely freshman fault.